Right. Tell me when you're ready. You ready? A very good afternoon to all of you, members of the national and international press who are here. Thank you very much for your presence. This afternoon, I am about to issue a statement by the government of Kenya on the forthcoming judgment in the case concerning the maritime boundary between Kenya and Somalia. I am accompanied with me here, to my right, the Lieutenant General Francis Ogola, who is the Vice Chief of Defense Forces of the Kenya Defense Forces. I'm also accompanied by Mr. Kennedy Ogeto, who is the Solicitor General of the Government of Kenya. And I'm also accompanied by Dr. Ibrahim Mohammed, who is the Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Defense. My name is Macharia Kamau. I am the Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And the statement reads as follows. On the 24th September 2021, the International Court of Justice, which I shall now refer to as the court, released a press statement indicating that it would deliver its judgment in the case concerning the maritime boundary dispute between Kenya and Somalia on the 12th of October 2021, next Tuesday. The delivery of the judgment will be the culmination of a flawed judicial process that Kenya has had reservations with and withdrawn from on account not just of its obvious and inherent bias, but also of its unsuitability to resolve the dispute at hand. Since independence, Kenya has been and continues to thrive as a beacon of peace and stability in the region and beyond. This has been enabled in large part by Kenya's foreign policy that is founded on the precept of peaceful coexistence, and good neighborliness. Indeed, in times of tumult and strife, it is Kenya that our neighbors have turned to for leadership, support, peace, and safety. It is in this context that Kenya has maintained, even before Somalia filed the current case, that any dispute between the two countries regarding their maritime boundary should be resolved through amicable negotiations. In fact, in 2009, the two countries entered into an agreement on how and when to amicably address matters concerning the maritime boundary. Kenya reiterated this position when Somalia filed the case at the International Court of Justice. Surprisingly, the court assumed jurisdiction where it had none by effectively ignoring Kenya's 1965 reservation that excluded disputes such as the present one from the court's jurisdiction. Ironically, while the court declared our 2009 agreement with Somalia on how and when to address matters concerning the maritime boundary valid, it proceeded to ignore the same nonetheless. The first threat to Kenya's territorial integrity was overt and direct. That happened during the Shifter War of 1967-1969. Then, we ably and successfully, as a country, demonstrated our resolution and steadfastness in the commitment to safeguard and protect our territorial integrity. we remain resolute and steadfast in the same commitment today. It is important for every Kenyan to understand that threats to territorial integrity are now no longer necessarily overt or direct. The filing of a case against Kenya at the court and the court's assumption of jurisdiction where it had none are demonstrative of new tactics of using pseudo-judicial processes to undermine territorial integrity. For these reasons, and in addition to withdrawing its participation from the current case, Kenya, on the 24th September 2021, also joined many other members of the United Nations in withdrawing its recognition of the court's compulsory jurisdiction. As a sovereign nation, Kenya shall no longer be subject to an international court or tribunal without its expressed consent. The government of Kenya recognizes and has consistently indicated as much that the judgment of the court, whichever way it decides, will have profound security, political, social, and economic ramifications in our region and beyond. This will undoubtedly be unfortunate in a region that is already under the torment of terrorism, instability, and conflict. So while the government of Kenya recognizes the potential of these ramifications, every Kenyan is to be assured that the government of Kenya is fully seized of this matter. Kenyans are therefore called upon to remain calm before, during, and after the delivery of the judgment on October 12th, next Tuesday. Thank you very much. That is the end of the statement. Today we will not be taking questions by virtue of the fact that this was just a statement to indicate to Kenyans that we are alert and aware of what's going on, and we shall be ready to deal with whatever ramifications might arise from that judgment. Thank you very much for your time. I thank you.